Okay. Let's do this. Oh, move my little dish here. Okay, welcome. I'm running a little behind. Dang. Okay. Usually don't stream Sundays, just to be clear. But I felt it was important to stream today. I got a lot to talk about. Okay? Got a lot to discuss. There's some things that happened over the weekend that bear a conversation, if you will. Nice to see you all. Welcome. Bear with me just a moment. I'm still doing a couple things to set up, but you guys can hang out with me while I do it. I'm simply getting all my ducks in a row here because I think it's important to go through this in a systematic fashion, let's say. Like I said, a lot going on. Hey, how'd you guys like the TikTok ban for all of 2 hours? It was banned for like a couple hours, maybe 3, a single night, if that. And then they unbanned it again. And they had, Trump, thank you for unbanning us, blah, 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 blah. We're going to talk about that too. There's a lot to that to get through. Oh, like I said, ducks in a row. Give me a second. Nice to see you all, though. Mantis, always a pleasure. Zero Fucks, nice to see you as well. Brew Crow, hello. Silverhand, nice to see you. Old School, hello. Fancy Teeth, you had me at Mike from PA, aka Fat Mike. We're gonna be nice to the guy because I feel sorry for the guy. Okay, so we won't be too harsh, but we'll be a little harsh because he did come at me for no reason, like literally no reason. But again, we'll get to it. I promise you, we will. I just gotta get everything set up. Frost Harsh Language, nice to see you. Aircraft Sparky. Why is Mike from PA worth a whole stream? He's not, but we got to talk about the TikTok stuff too. And I want to talk about a few other things. And I felt this was a good example. Okay. This is a good example of how this space works, how people in this space interact, and how frankly, you just can't trust people like Mike. And we're going to talk about why, right? Did you guys know there was a Supreme Court case in Pennsylvania involving this guy a few years ago? Okay. What do you, if you had to guess what the Supreme Court case was about? Okay. Mike from PA, I'm serious. This isn't a joke. We're gonna go over it. If you had to guess why he was in court, right? Or they had a case about him, what do you think it would be for? If you just had to guess, take a wild shot in the dark here. Oh, you guys know this already. You guys are already gifted with the lore, I guess. He didn't do any threats or slander, at least not in this case. No, he lied about being a lawyer on his when he was running for something, nominated for something. Case has the details. But yeah, he said he was a lawyer. He wasn't a lawyer. Spoiler alert. And this case went all the way up to the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania. And they're like, this is bullshit. So yeah. I think it was candidate registration. Again, we're gonna get into it. We have the court case. It's right there. It's public record, by the way. This isn't doxing anyone, right? Like he's public with his name. He's public with where he is. He ran for office publicly, right? Like, we know all this. This is all on the record. None of this is new. But I think we need a refresher and a reminder. And again, why you can't trust any of these motherfuckers. Because they're liars. Doodling a cow. I don't know what cow doodles for. But like I said, I'm just getting my ducks in a row. Well, I apologize. I'm a little behind. But we will get there. I promise. So Bear with me. One moment. Oy vey. I need that. There's also a couple things like so if any of you guys have screen, I think I have these somewhere because I was sharing them last night. But if you guys have these and want to send it to me, it would really help. Screenshots of the TikTok. So when it was banned and then after the ban, there are 2 screenshots I saw of what TikTok was saying, like why they were being banned, why they were being unbanned. And I want these for, you know, purposes of going over it. Give me one more second. Oh, this is one. This is one. And let's see. Oh, I'll go over this too, but it's not that important. We might do that in the end. I do got some things coming up other than this, by the way. So I am going to. I thought about going to the inauguration. I'm not going to. It's cold, gang. It's snowing outside. I got like 4 inches outside of snow, gang, and it's one of those things. But yeah, I didn't want to deal with the cold. I thought about driving down there. Right? I'm not too far away, but yeah, I'll live stream it though for you guys, and we'll go over it. We'll watch it. We'll see what happens. I've heard rumors that they're going to have it in the rotunda instead of out in the what's it called, the field or whatever. So I probably wouldn't have gotten in to get a seat anyway, simply because it would be at capacity, I'm imagining. But yeah, so that's that. But let's talk a little bit, ladies and gentlemen, about what happened to me this weekend. Wick got 4 inches. Ha. Yeah, you got jokes. I hear yeah, okay. We got the jokes. I knew that was happening. Feder Methodist, thank you for the bits. Follow me on Trump Talk. Are you guys calling it Trump Talk now? Fair enough. Appreciate it. Yeah. I don't usually do Sunday streams, but tonight we need to do a Sunday stream. So I was enjoying my weekend. I was having a, just a normal day, going through the Twitters, liking the posts, tweeting out my thoughts on various things. And I saw a clip of Lonerdox. You guys know who Lonerdox is. He's been on my show a couple times. You may not know him. You may know him. He's a streamer guy. He's a nice guy. I've met him in real life. One of the few people I've met in real life. Nothing but gracious, nothing but kind, okay? We didn't interact too terribly much, but, nice enough guy. And whenever he's been on, even if I've disagreed with him, he's fairly well reasoned, and he's never that much of a dick. We're all a little bit of a dick, okay? That's clear. But he was never that much of a dick. Is there only Lonerdox, or are there others? I'm not sure. Lonerdox is the only box I know of. So I saw a clip, and let's look at this clip, okay, together. What I saw. And I've since been informed that this is not entirely an accurate clip. But that doesn't really matter to what happened next. But let's go over the clip. Let's look at it. And let's see what it has to say. This is what I saw. Again, just browsing the internets. Here we go. And tell me if you guys can hear this. I hope you can.
It's a little bit frustrating that the psycho smear campaign against me has kind of succeeded, and it's basically all because of Hassan being willing to platform it, which is very annoying that you basically have to like suffer the consequences of someone else's stupidity, but is what it is. Someone else's failures as a human being, but that's not why I'm taking a break. That's just annoying, and it's something that I'll probably be able to work around by myself. I wouldn't exactly say it succeeded. Nah, it's done enough, I think. And it's just the fact that, especially like I can handle it coming from like deprogram or bad empanada. I can handle it coming from them because they're irrelevant. Like their audiences don't matter to me. Like I don't need any. I don't care about that. But the fact that I've noticed this recently, that when it comes from people like Hassan, the problem with Hassan is he is so good at just like roping in people who are basically just like unwitting social democrats, right? And like radicalizing the fuck out of them. And that's and if I'm getting painted bad in the eyes of those people, uh, and being, let's face it, a small creator who doesn't really have the resources of the community to defend themselves. And it's not like there's some social democrat safe space on the internet where you can fall back on. Like if you're a breadtuber and you get attacked, well, everyone on breadtube is a cultist who's either going to defend you if they agree with you, and if they disagree with you, they'll just shut the fuck up because it's not worth rocking the boat. But I don't really have that. There's not really anything that I can fall back on. IP disc.
So again, he talks a little bit. I'm only half listening to this, but he seems to be frustrated, okay? He seems to be upset. He seems to be like a little down, and I get it, right? We all get those times where people are coming at us, okay? And Lonerdox is bigger than me, to be clear. He's got like, he's usually streaming to like 500 to 1,000 people whenever I check. So he's quite sizable, especially compared to me. But still, getting attacked like that, having people like Bad Empanada and other communities just coming at you like that constantly is frustrating, right? I get it. I heard rumors he was stepping back from the space and things like that. So I was like, you know what? One of the things we do all the time in this space is we're quick to like come after people like, oh my God, you did this, you did that, you're a terrible person. But too often we are silent when people are being come at unfairly. Or even not unfairly. Look, I put out a tweet saying this. Real simple. Real easy. Simple tweet here. I miss Lonerbox, and I hope he will come back soon. He's a good dude. He doesn't deserve this harassment. Real easy tweet, okay? I didn't think much of it. I went away for a while. Did other things. Walked the dog, etc. Like, pretty anodyne. Nothing much to it. See, this is why I should have had things better together, because I don't have this quite where I need it. Here we go. And then I noticed my notifications blowing up, and I'm like, what the fuck happened here? What's going on? Mike from PA, that special man. Eat shit, you fucking loser. LMAO. Remember, this is what I said. Didn't mention anyone, didn't talk shit about anyone, didn't really take a swipe at anyone, saying, I'll miss Lonerbox, and I hope he comes back soon. He's a good dude. He doesn't deserve this harassment. I don't know. Look, I'm not sure why he decided to do this, but he did. He decided to just, I don't know. Can anyone explain this? Like, do those guys have beef? They must have beef. They must have beef. They must. Anyway, why is he coming at me? I don't know. And then all his little gremlins, okay? Because that's what happens, right? He boosts it. He like talks about it, like his audience finds it, they retweet it, etc., etc. And they all come at you. And it's just the silly things. Like, it doesn't bother me that much, but it does bother me to the sense that, look, if I was coming at Mike, fair game. If I was talking shit about Mike, fair game. I get it, right? I take a swipe at you, you take a swipe back. That's how it goes. If I had quote tweeted him disagreeing with something, if I had tried to paint him out as I have in the past, like, I think Mike is a harmful dude. Like, he's not a good guy. He's made it very clear that he is an enemy to the Democratic Party, and he wants nothing to do with us. and he looked to try to help Trump win in the 2024 election. And so, yeah, I've gone the rounds with him on occasion. So if that had been anything like that, okay, not a big deal. But this is an example of a secondary sanction, okay? I talk about these sometimes on the stream, but to let you guys know what this is, a secondary sanction, just so you guys can see it again, this is a secondary sanction. They don't like Lonerdox. I make a statement expressing sympathy for Lonerdox, okay? And so because I have done that, I am now under sanction. So they don't really care about me. They're attacking anyone who has any association or tries to stick up for or stand up for or even express a kind word to the guy, their target, which is Lonerdox. So anyone who is associated with or who, again, pops their head up like I did, becomes a target. That's what a secondary sanction is, right? And it's bullshit. I don't like secondary sanctions. I think they're kind of shit. And that's what this is. This is a textbook case of it. So I express sympathy for this guy, and he just comes at me like nothing. And I'm tired of this kind of thing happening. If you have a problem with me, that's fine. But I get this from more than him. I get this from all sides, right? When I have Destiny on, or when I have someone who is Lactoid. When I've had Lactoid on, there are people who come at me, not because of anything I've said or done, but because of who I have on my show, or who I'm talking to, or who I'm talking about in some cases. And it is wild to me that these things. Now, in all this, there are other people, a lot of Mike from PAers, like his little, what do they call themselves? Commies? Tankies? I don't know. Anyway, a bunch of them are saying, oh, didn't you hear what Lonerdox did? How dare you express sympathy for a genocide denier? How dare you express sympathy for a man who laughed at the death of Palestinians? And if that were true, that would probably be a bad thing, right? But here's a problem. We cannot trust anything that these people say because they're liars. And they're demonstrably proven in court to be liars. So let's talk a little bit about Mike from PA. Give me one moment. Let's get it up. And let's go all the way back. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, let me scroll up a little bit. A Supreme Court case in 2014. You guys ready? Let's take a little journey together. Okay. So, there's a nomination petition for Mike from PA, the candidate for the Democratic nomination for office of representative, okay? And there was a little bit of kerfuffle with this. So let's read, why is he in the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania? Like, what is this all about? Let's read, let's find out, let's explore, let's learn together, okay? So in response to the pressing time demands of this primary election appeal, we entered a per curiam order on an expedited basis, vacating the order of the Commonwealth Court and directing that the appellee, Michael, name be stricken from the primary ballot for the Democratic Party nomination for the office of representative. Okay, so there was some kind of registration. He was trying to be a nominee for the Democratic Party. Okay, there was some kind of kerfuffle with this. So let's see what it is. To amend material defect apparent in the face of nomination petition, unless so the election code gives discretion to the courts to amend a material defect apparent on the face of nomination petitions unless the defect manifests the candidate's intent to mislead electors. So this was the accusation that they had, that when Mike put in his candidacy, his petition, right, he was seeking to mislead electors. Now, Mike says he wasn't, obviously, and there was a court case about it. So let's see, what was he trying to do? Here, Mike circulated nomination petitions listing his present occupation as lawyer, when he was a law school graduate, neither authorized to practice law in any jurisdiction, nor working with the law in any capacity. So apparently, he was a law school graduate, I guess, but he wasn't authorized to practice law. I don't know if he didn't pass the bar or whatever, but he wasn't a lawyer. That's the long and short of it. Okay. He listed his occupation on the document as lawyer, but he was not so. Deeming his description of occupation both materially defective and issued with the knowledge it could mislead electors as to his credentials for the office of lawmaker, we held the defect ineligible for amendment and precluded him from access to the ballot. So they stopped him from being on the ballot. They kept him off from the ballot because, again, they say he lied about his occupation with the intent to deceive the voters. Now, this is a very... This is all flowing into our priors about the guy, okay? Everything I've seen of him, like, this tracks. But let's see what the court has to say, right? Because maybe we're wrong. Maybe this got appealed. I don't know. So the record reveals that Mike from PA, timely filed the nomination petitions with the Department of State seeking placement of his name on the ballot. So he got it in on time. That's fine. Appellant objectors, qualified electors residing in the 131st Legislative District, filed in the Commonwealth Court a petition to set aside the nomination petition on grounds that he intentionally misrepresented his occupation as lawyer on both his statement of financial interests and nomination petition. So it wasn't just his nomination petitions, but apparently there's other documents he had filled out where he listed his occupation as lawyer. People found out, and they tried to get him off the ballot. So, again, this was a Supreme Court, so there'd been other hearings. So, this judge, Renee Cohn, I'm not gonna say the name right, okay, presided over the matter and conducted a hearing. At the hearing, he confirmed he had graduated law school in May of 2013, but had yet to pass or even take any state bar examination. So he graduated from law school, but he didn't pass the bar. He didn't even take the bar. Okay. Consequently, he was not licensed to practice law at the time he circulated his nomination petitions. He listed his occupation as lawyer, he said, because he understood the definition of lawyer as found in the Oxford English Dictionary to include someone who studied the law. Okay. In addition, Mr. Mike from PA believed occupation meant profession, and because he understood lawyer to mean someone who studies law, he considered his profession to be that of a lawyer. Okay, so let me ask you guys. So I've had Lactoid on a few times, right? I've had other lawyers on, Pisco. I've had Ryan on, and they've all taught me a little bit about the law that I didn't know before, right? One might say that I've studied a little bit of law. I've looked up court cases, Supreme Court cases for streaming. I've gone through the various technical terms, all these things, right? Would any of you have an objection to me calling myself a lawyer? Because I did study law technically, right? You'd be okay with me calling myself a lawyer? I don't think any of you would. I wouldn't. I feel like I was lying. Brucro says because Wick is reading a legal paper, he's now a lawyer too. I mean, that's the logic, right, behind this. It would, if I had started streaming, okay, because I've looked over law books before, right? I've studied law, not at any college or anything, but on my own. But if I had started streaming and I had listed as one of my credentials in the streaming space, I am a lawyer. You guys would, President Sunday would have done a manifesto about me, okay? Right? There would have been like, streamer lies about his credentials live on air. And there would have been like, no one would take me any seriously ever again. I would lose all my credibility because I would have been deceiving you. I would have lied. And to try to go back and pretend is like, well, you know, in the Oxford Dictionary, they have this definition of lawyer that technically, no, it wouldn't fly because everyone would know that the intention I had was to beef up my credentials and make the listener make the viewer think one thing, but have that thing not be so. Right? J Max says, shoot, as I've probably, as a labor relations guy, read and interpreted more law than Mike from PA. Maybe. Mad Honeybee says there is a difference between legal profession and lawyer. November says he understood the Oxford Dictionary. Does Mike from PA know anything about a reasonable person in law? Which is another thing, right? So again, no, I'm not a lawyer. Come on, don't clip me. Donned him. Okay. But here's the thing. This is what these people do. And if you ever think of trusting these people, just remember what, again, we have them on record of doing, right? So when they say things about Lonerdox or about anyone else in the space, don't take them at their word because they're proven liars. They just are. Their intent is to deceive. Let's skip all the blah 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 here, right? And let's go to the conclusion and see what they ruled, because that's kind of important, right? Let's get to the end of it. Based on the foregoing, we concluded that Mr. Byers' Mike from PA nomination petitions bore a facial defect, as he was not yet qualified to claim the present occupation or professional status of lawyer. The defect was both material to an elector's decision to nominate a legislator and incurable by amendment because the candidate knew his representation had the potential to mislead signers about his credentials for the legislative office he sought. Having demonstrated as much, objectors met the burden of disproving the presumptive validity of the contested nomination petition. Striking Mike from PA's petition under such circumstances to avoid misleading the electorate was consistent with the elections code purpose of protecting and not defeating a citizen's vote. Accordingly, we issued our above referenced per curiam order, vacating the order entered in the Commonwealth Court and setting aside Mike from PA's nomination. So the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania, called this dude a liar. Because he's a liar. Let's be clear, he's a liar. He sought to deceive the public. And he still does that today, gang. Not about the lawyer stuff, but about all sorts of other things, right? About Lonerdox, about the Democratic Party, about his position on things, about other people's position on things. He intends to deceive you. It's not just about being wrong, right? I can understand if someone is wrong. I can understand if someone's mistaken. Hell, I'm mistaken time to time. I get it wrong time to time. I mess up time to time. But he intentionally used the title to deceive others, knowing what they would think, right? Knowing, unless they asked him, they would have these assumptions in mind. This is how they work, okay? This is how this goes. Toby1 Kenobi says, wow, today's going to be as fun as when you took on Mr. Girl. Is it? I don't know about that. And look. Let's see what other tweets we made in this tweet of tweets. So someone else saw all this. I was getting ratioed pretty hard, to be clear. Mike had like, I don't know, 700 tweets or something, or likes on his tweet. I had like 300. I was getting ratioed. Not that that matters, but someone saw it and posted it to DGG. Okay. This was what DGG had to say about it. Let's see. It says this. This blows my mind. And he posts a screenshot of this. And again, highlights the likes. Colonizer Jack Random. It's like, dude, what's wrong with you? And fair question. Okay. So Mike responds. Again, this isn't to me directly. The only thing he said to me directly throughout this whole thing, to this day, unless there's tweets I haven't looked at yet, right? Like in my notifications, and there's a few. Like maybe I missed it. It's possible. Maybe he did it while I started streaming. I don't know. But the only thing he said to me directly is this. Eat shit, you fucking loser. Lamau. He hasn't addressed me at all other than that, right? But he does address this. He does quote tweet this, and he does go after them. And this is what he says. He says, it's because you people, this is Mike from PA to these DGGer guys, okay? It's because you people are freaks and everyone hates you. Everyone might hate them, I don't know. And they're kind of freaks, but in a good way and a bad way, both. What a wild thing to say, though. Again, remember, all this started, the only thing I did was I said, hey, my buddy Lonerdox, guy I've worked with before, I met him once. He's a nice guy. He's going through it. I should put out a public show of support. Sorry you're feeling bad. Sorry you're stepping away. I miss you. And I hope you feel better soon. It's basically what happened. What do you call a person when that sentiment is expressed? What do you call someone who then goes for the throat of the person who expressed that opinion? I think freak would be a fair term to apply. It applies much more correctly and much more appropriately than the term lawyer. People mistake my kindness for weakness, but I promise you, if you come at me, I'm going to swing back. Megalodom says, wait, he did that to me one time on Twitter as well. He said on stream that I should be jailed for my views, Lamau. Again, he lies consistently, and he's a freak. Every accusation a confession from these people. Remember that. It's not enough to ignore these people. Like, look, a lot of people might disagree with me on this, but let me make my case. It's not enough to ignore this because these people are loud and annoying, and unfortunately, there's a lot of them. And they make their voices heard. They try to plant their flag and say, we are the voice of the left. We are the voice of the true left, blah, 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 blah. And then they act unhinged, freakish, and in a way that is an albatross over every progressive, every leftist, every Democrat's neck, a millstone, if you will, that will drag them down into the depths. Because these people are not able or capable of acting like human beings or adults. They're freaks. Frankly. Oh, I got some money. Another new account says, Wick, how are you going to say the left will be more pro-free speech than the right when you can't even push that in your own Discord? Look, man, I gun-banned you. They don't like you. Take it up with Tenflix. DM him. I have stepped back from moderating my own Discord because I'm tired of getting DMs about it. Every time something happens, I got like 20 DMs asking me, Daddy Wick, please, Daddy Wick, do this, Daddy Wick. Enough. For my own mental capacity, I offloaded it to some admins. I got one guy on the right and one guy on the left. If you don't like Tenflix, he's the left one, go to AJ, okay? AJ's a Trump supporter. He's on the right. I have two admins, one right, one left. Figure it out, man. I tried my best. That's about as much energy as I'm going to expend, at least for now. But thank you for the $5. I do appreciate it. Threw off my game. I have more to go. Through. I don't understand what possesses someone to inhabit the space so that anytime any goodwill is expressed, you try to drag it down. I don't get it. Did someone hurt? Like, what happened? Do you guys know the lore? Like, why is he so full of hate? Why is he so, like, to a degree that is more than most? Why is he just so full of just, I don't know, rage? What happened to him? Did he, like, lose his pet? Did some DGGer kill his dog? I know he got, like, I don't know the details, but wasn't he, like, dating Bad Bunny or something, or wanted to date Bad Bunny? I don't know the details, so I'm hesitant to think, but there was something with that. Was that what did it? Was that what took him down? Right? Was that what broke this man? Frost Harsh language says Destiny got Mike's girl before he knew her at the time, and she rejected him. Man. Stream thumbnail's wrong? What's wrong with the thumbnail? Hold up. Oh, haha. Let me change that. Sorry. Like I said, we were we were running behind today. Mike from PA versus Wick boxing match? I'd do it if you wanted. We'd donate the money or whatever to charity. Winner's choice. If you wanted, I'm down. I don't think he wants to, though. He's not the type to... And if he wanted to talk to me, to be clear, he could. He is welcome to jump on stream. But he's not going to do that. He could prove me wrong, shock us all. But he's not going to do that. Do you know why he's not going to do that? Okay. Do you understand why? And it's important to understand this, okay? Because they can't defend their stances. They're incapable of it. They know that they're lying. They know that they are pushing falsehoods. And they know that if someone challenged them on it, this castle of sand they had built, of innuendo, of accusation, of purposefully misunderstanding, etc., 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 it would wash away. It would wash away. And I get it. I'm not a big guy. I'm not a very big streamer. I'm a small boy. I understand. But he won't go for even the bigger streamers that he could get clout from. He won't go from anyone around his size. He will not go outside of his small little bubble because, like a cult, okay? Gang, you have to understand this. One of the things that cults do, is they will purposely cut off their members from the outside world, right? They're not allowed to have contact with family and friends that they had before, right? They're taking away their cell phones, things like that. Their access to the outside world is limited and only through the lens of the ideology of the cult, usually the cult leaders and its senior members, okay? In much the same way, these people, Mike and his little gremlins, that's how they interact with the world. And that's what they encourage their viewers to interact with the world. They will tell their viewers, don't listen, right? Don't listen to anyone else. Only we have the truth. Only we have what's really going on. We are the only ones you can trust. Do not trust these other voices, these other sources, all these other people. They're liberals. They're Nazis. They're liars. They're only going to hurt you. They only hate you, right? Look at the hate they're giving us all the time. Look at the harassment we get every single day, right? All I did was tell him to eat shit, and now he's doing a whole stream on me. Cult-like behavior. You got to call it out when you see it, too, right? And that's why, again, they will never challenge you publicly, right? They will never actually interact with someone publicly about their beliefs because, again, it does not stand up to scrutiny. It does not stand up to scrutiny. And this is what they do. They have their fortress, and they will try to pull you into the fortress, right? And it's a pipeline, right? You got the more reasonable ones, and they will funnel you in on this pipeline, okay, to the crazier and crazier portions, and you gain friends. So this is what happens. So you're a young man, okay, 16, 17-year-old, 18 maybe. You don't know what's going on. You hear some nasty things about Trump. You hear some nasty things about the Democrats, and you have no idea what to believe, okay? Your parents, okay, who knows what they're doing, but they're not paying attention to you. And you start going online to make friends. Go online to get social interaction because that's what you need. And you start watching these videos, okay? You start going to your YouTubes and your TikToks and all these things. And you start to watch a few Hassan clips, okay? Hassan's an attractive dude. Say you're a chick, okay? Or a gay guy, and you see Hassan, and you're like, oh, I'll watch him. And it funnels you into people like Mike from PA, okay? It funnels you into these echo chambers that you can't escape from because they welcome you in, okay? But you are not allowed to violate the orthodoxy. You're not allowed to have a different opinion. You really aren't. Again, I've interacted with a lot of these people, especially when I was a new streamer, because I was like, I'm a leftist. I didn't quite understand how it worked, right? Like, a normie leftist is not an online leftist. Let's be clear. And I, fool that I was like, I'm a leftist. Not realizing that online leftist is a far different beast. And so I started making friends, connections, and things like that with a bunch of people who were online leftists. And they were nice to me at first. Drew me in, right? They recognized I was new, so they were nice at first. But then, you know, if I had an opinion differing than them, and at the time it was on free speech, right? At the time it was like, no, I don't think we should be censoring. And they absolutely did not like that take. And they came at me for that take. And it became clear really early on that any connection or friendship I had to them was tied to me agreeing with them. Had I disagreed, and when I did disagree, they would, of all the help they gave me, went away. All the connections I had went away. And they started trying to stab me in the back. There was a guy who clipped me out of context trying to paint one of my admins as a transphobe, right? Just, again, trying to put me on blast to destroy me because I wouldn't toe the orthodoxy line that they had in place. And if you're young and you don't have any other friends, it's hard to break out of that. It's hard to break out of a space where all your friends, all your social interaction is with these people. And if they cut you off, you don't have anything. And they'll do that on purpose too. When they're getting you in, they encourage you to cut off your other friends. Any friend who's Republican, cut them off. Any friends who's somewhat right-leaning, cut them off. Family members, somewhat right-leaning, cut them off, right? And they'll actively encourage this. They absolutely do. And so once you've cut off all these other people in your life, right? Now all you got is them, baby. That's it. That's all you have. And they will use that as a weapon to keep you in line. Metamorphosis says this sounds personal. I mean, he did personally attack me. And I am personally offended at this type of behavior. Is it personal? I guess. Because this, again, I've seen this happen to people. I've seen this happen in various degrees to other streamers. It's happened to a lesser degree with me. Luckily, I was older and had outside friends, and I didn't need these people, right? And I'm stubborn, too. And if you try to control me, I will buck against that. I'm recalcitrant in a way. But yeah, it's personal, I guess. Let me read some super chats. $5 from Feder Methodist saying, I'm not trying to strike fear, but your couch is probably in danger right now. I will protect my couch. Okay. That's where my doggy sits, Lola. And I will protect her. Tries to punch my couch. Yes. Go through me. $10 from Grassroots Hegemon. Give this money to Lex and tell him this was his for Mossad stuff. He will know what it means. Well, thank you. $20 from Grassroots Hegemon. Not meme dono. How do you feel about Destiny's recent venom toward the center? I'd called myself an old man's conservative, but he seems to have willfully broken his ability to parse MAGA from conservative. I'll address that after I read this next super chat. Why are you so bent on shade up on this? Don't take yourself so seriously. $5 from Dwight Baldwin. Well, I find this behavior abhorrent. I don't know. If someone's going to come at me, I'm going to at least make a little money off of it. Frankly, and it deserves to be talked about. This is a discussion that deserves to be had because it's a problem in this space. And it's a problem that people keep taking these people seriously when they absolutely should not. These people are our enemy. They are, for Democrats and for sane progressives, people like Mike from PA and his ilk are the enemy. And they treat us as the enemy. So we need to stop pretending they're our friends. They're not. They're not allies. They're bad dudes. They behave poorly. And this is the way they're doing it. I'm telling you what they do, how they do it, why they do it, and why it matters. To Grassroots Hegemon. Let me address your dono here. Yeah, I think Destiny, well, and we're going to talk about more of this tomorrow too. But to answer your question, we need to stop pushing the center away. And this is the tension, I think, in this space. And this is where a lot of people are on the edge and trying to decide which way to lean. Because there are people like Mike from PA who will tell you, yes, the center is dog shit. They're all right-leaning. They're all Nazis. They're all fascist enablers. Just push them away. Destiny didn't used to believe that, but I think that he's leaning more in that direction. We're going to try to pull him back from the edge, okay? We're going to try. But no, he absolutely is doing us a disservice in that regard. Now, that said, he is nowhere near the same level of toxic, right, as people like Mike from PA. But, again, that isn't good, that path that we're going down. So that's one side of things. My side of things, what I would advocate for, what I do advocate for, is that we have an electorate that thinks of a lot of these causes as extreme and unpopular. And we need to stop dying on these hills for no reason. Let's look at the... Recently, Biden has done two things that are not good, okay? Pragmatically, at least. His seeming assistance that the 28th Amendment, the Equal Rights Act, is now ratified, certified amendment. It's just not true, gang. That's not how this works. It's not how any of this works. And to insist that it is true when it's just the easiest thing in the world to show, no, it's not, does us harm. It does us harm. It hurts us. Because people look at that, reasonable people, the reasonable person standard, right? They look at that and they're like, well, that doesn't seem correct. And they look into it and they find out it's not correct. And they're like, why are they lying like this? And so what Republicans do to capitalize on that is they say, look, This is where they're lying to you. You can't trust them. This is the kind of power plays they're trying to force down your throat. You can't trust them. Crazy, right? So that's one. The second thing he did was he removed the sanctions against Cuba. And I think he officially recognized Cuba. And he did that like last week. The problem with that, even if you agree with removing the sanctions and things like that, which there could be an argument for, is one, it's not going to actually do anything. Trump's immediately going to reverse on that. He's going to Uno reverse that tomorrow, pretty much. Okay, or maybe the next day. It's not going to last long. There's going to be no material benefit to that. No one will be better off because of it. It won't actually get anything done. Okay, but what it will do is it will give ammo to especially Florida Republicans to paint the Democratic Party as pro-socialist. And especially in Florida, where we're struggling, gang, especially local Democrats are struggling, right, to get the Cuban vote, to get other, the center vote. That does not help us get those votes. In fact, it actively hurts us from getting those votes. It gives ammo to the other side that they're simply going to use against us. It's just an own goal. It does not help. It hurts. So my advocacy here going forward, two things. Pick our battles. We can't fight everything. We just don't have the political power. We lost, gang. Elections have consequences. We don't have the votes. We don't have the seats. So pick our battles. Fight where we can. But what it cannot be is this constant litany. It has to be strategic. It has to be surgical. It has to be focused. And it has to work. Right? It has to work. So if all we're doing is shouting just to, I don't know, virtue signal about something, and we know that nothing actually is going to happen because of it, but it cost us political capital to do so, do not expend that political capital. Gather our political capital, work on our persuasion, use that political capital when absolutely necessary and when it can work. That's my advocacy. Steve Melly says it also seemed pretty unprovoked. If someone slaps me, I'm going to hit back. Yeah, a lot of it is like I didn't expect it, and it was out of left field. And I was like, "What are you doing?" So I did slap back a little bit, right? I have a meme, the couch meme here. He's big, mad, couches everywhere in danger. Little smiley faces, and the gif of him punching the couch. Remember, this is the kind of guy he is. A woman rejects him. He gets physically violent, and he lashes out. That's a red flag, okay? Look, I get it. Rejection sucks, but there are ways to handle it that are adult. That is not an adult way to handle that rejection. It's just not. If you get rejected, and you will, it'll happen, what you do, take a walk. That's what I do. Okay, if I'm in a situation, I'm getting frustrated, it's not working, okay, and I take a walk. I remove myself from the situation, okay? It's not worth it. It's not worth dealing with. Cool down. Let cooler heads prevail. This aggression is not a good look. It's not a good sign. It's a real big red flag, okay? And again, combined with what else we know about the man, that he's intentionally deceitful, proven in court to have intentionally lied to the voting public in order to get a nomination, and it was struck down and his nomination was removed because of his intent to deceive, okay? And we know how, again, example, if someone expresses sympathy for people he considers his enemies, he will come at their throats for no reason, and again, real aggressive way. Red flag after red flag after red flag here, gang. At some point, you have to say, look, this guy's crazy. This guy's not someone you want anywhere near power or influence. He's not someone you want anywhere near you. You just have to just step back and not deal with them. Who we talk about? Mike from PA. Clearly crystal clear. For those of you who are just getting here, yesterday I made a tweet expressing sympathy for Lonerdox, and it blew up because Mike from PA, I don't know, wanted to take a shot for no reason. For no reason. And again, like, when people noticed it, they brought it up. I was getting ratioed, okay? He goes on about how we are freaks and everyone hates us, which, again, is a little bit of a projection here. But here, let me get the other tweet up. One moment, please. So, again, this is my response. And now, I was a little less heated now. It'd been some time. And I was more just kind of... Sad's not the word. I'm trying to think of the word to describe this, my feelings here. Baffled. Disappointed. Confused. Just... I felt pity for the guy. Okay, maybe this is weakness on my part, but I felt sorry for this guy. I was like, because I tried to, like, what kind of person would do this? Like, what kind of person would I have to be for me to do this kind of thing day in, day out? And it's not just to me. He does this all the time, right? This is a constant thing he does. And I looked into it, right? Because I was like, what the fuck? Mike has only one feeling, hunger. Look, we're going to be nice. We're going to be nice. Yeah, I thought, like, how would my life need to be to act in this way? And it would have to be pretty sad. It'd have to be pretty lonely. It'd have to be pretty... I'd have to fail a lot. I'd have to be scorned a lot, rejected a lot. I'd have to be someone who didn't have a future or felt I didn't have a future. I'd have to be someone who contemplated real dark thoughts a lot. Like, a lot. I'd have to be someone who lay in bed wondering why I should get up. I'd have to be someone who had no one I could trust, no one I could talk to, no one I could actually consider a friend. Or maybe one or two, but not many. And so, as I contemplated this, and as I thought about this more and more, and maybe this is a weakness on my part, I just felt like... felt sorry for the guy, okay? I do. I felt very sorry for the guy, and this is what I tweeted. Okay. I said, I express sympathy for someone, and this is me quote tweeting him saying that we're all freaks or whatever, right? I express sympathy for someone who is going through a rough time, and you told me to, quote, eat shit, you fucking loser, Lamau, end quote. There's not a soul inside you, is there? Just a fleshy bag of hate, envy, and impotent rage. I feel sorry for you, actually. And I do. I feel sorry for this guy. So I guess the question at hand is, how do we handle things like this? Like, I don't know if I did this correctly, frankly. I don't know if this is the right way to handle it when someone just comes at you unhinged like that. Usually it doesn't happen. Like, not since President Sunday got banned from Twitter, at least. And President Sunday was expected, okay? I knew it was coming. If I made a tweet, President Sunday was going to talk about it. It was going to happen. I knew it, right? But this was out of the blue for no reason. Intense Complex says, you can't high road with your way out of getting called a freak that everyone hates. What do you mean can't high road? Why not? And to be clear, once I do this show, once I make this money, I mean, this is simply going to be used like as a cautionary tale for anyone dealing with Mike from PA. If anyone asks me like, who's Mike from PA? I'm like, Mike from PA is a piece of shit who came at me for no reason. That's what I'm going to say. Because that's what's happened. I mean, he could apologize. I'm not sure. Why is my cam so shoddy? I don't know. Let me, Rabid Wombat says, you're special then. Not even Sunday's dates know when he's coming. Okay, funny. I enjoyed that. Make a little more money here. Grassroots Hegemon for $20. Hyper MAGA people are better worked on from inside a conservative space. And we do publicly all the time. PF Young is also 100% right. He is a better communicator politically because he avoids being cringe. Destiny doesn't. Okay, PF Young, I don't know about that guy. He's a good guy. I like him. He's fine. He's been on my show a couple times. But is he a better communicator than Destiny? In some ways. In some ways, yes, actually. But in most ways, I would say no. Now, is he more persuasive than Destiny? I don't know. Maybe. I'd have to think on it. $5 from Federer Methodist. Is there anything more 6th grade than everyone hates you, lols? Yes, there's a lot of things more 6th grade than that. There's I'm rubber, you're glue. Whatever you say bounces off of me and sticks to you. That's more 6th grade. I'm sure we could think of more. $10 from Grassroots Hegemon. All populism is conceding the game. It comes from a place of winners to appeal to people who are lost, but the people winning won by living in the way conservative people love. Thank you for the $10. And then $5 from Ren. What was your issue with the Biden support for the 28th? I realize it's in a legal gray area, but seems like something worthy of supporting. I don't mind support. If he had wanted to support it, like, we should ratify this, we should get this into the Constitution, right? That, great, based, awesome, nothing wrong with that. But that's not what he did. Like, a lot of them said, no, this is actually just ratified already. And no, it wasn't. That was my issue, right? It's not that we want this done, let's do it together. It was, no, actually, this is already done. And you look into the rules and you're like, oh, was it? That's my issue. To treat it like it's a fiat accompli, okay, when it absolutely just wasn't. And that was a problem I had. This is a problem I have with a lot of what we do, right? Like, we can't play this kind of game that... Give me a second. I'm looking for something. Yeah, this kind of game where all we do is just constantly just pretend. Like, oh, no, it actually is true that this is certified. No, you have to play by the rules, okay? At least in this. Or if you're going to not play by the rules, you got to do it in such a way that it seems like you are. But this was neither of those things. This seemed out of nowhere. And I don't think it'll help us. So let's also, okay, go over something else that happened recently. Did that answer your question, Ren? I hope it did. So, as you know, if you've been watching this show and watching anything on the internet, TikTok was banned by Congress, and that ban was upheld by the Supreme Court of the United States in a 9-0 decision to be clear. I am against the ban. I think that the TikTok ban isn't going to solve the problem, and it is also going to infringe upon people's free speech rights. So those two things. I think that there were other, as was argued before the Supreme Court, and I was convinced, I'm sorry that the judges weren't, or the justices weren't, but there were other avenues that the government can explore in order to remedy the problems that were at play, but they simply did not do that and instead went straight to a ban, which again, pretty opposed to, just on principle here, gang. That isn't to say that there aren't real security concerns. There absolutely are. Anyone trying to hand wave that away is lying to you. But I think that it becomes to a cost-benefit analysis, right? What costs would banning give to us? What costs would there be to not banning it? And what are the benefits to both? And I think for my money, right, I think that not banning it, but seeking other avenues to address the issues was the move. And unfortunately, I was overruled. Okay. No one listens to poor Whick. So let's see how that played out. Because again, the ban was supposed to go into place today. And yesterday, people on TikTok saw this when they tried to log in. Sorry, TikTok isn't available right now. A law banning TikTok has been enacted by the US. Unfortunately, that means you can't use TikTok for now. We are fortunate that President Trump has indicated that he will work with us on a solution to reinstate TikTok once he takes office. Please stay tuned. So you have 170 million young people. Mostly young people. Well, not all young people, right? But mostly young people. Log into their TikTok to get brain damage from their TikTok. And again, I don't have TikTok for a reason. I had to have someone send me these screenshots because I don't use TikTok because TikTok melts your brain. It's not good for you. And they see this. That's not good for Democrats, gang. You understand how damaging this is. The youth are seeing that the Democrats, and again, this isn't actually what happened. The vote to ban it was pretty bipartisan, right? Trump initially was the one who tried to push for this law to ban it, but none of that matters anymore because they have attention spans of goldfish, okay, because of TikTok. And so they see this message saying that, you know, the U.S. has banned it, but Trump's going to save it. Trump's going to save your TikTok. The heroin that you've been injecting into your veins all these years, Trump's going to hook you up, bro. That, I cannot understate the damage I think that this does, right? And to make matters worse, they undid that. Hours after that was done, today, I believe, earlier this morning, they undid this, and they had another message for people. Let me find that message for you guys. Well, you know, I should, before you guys actually see something I don't want to show. We see this. They come back, and their heroin is now back. Their favorite toy that they've been playing with is now back, and this is a message that they see. Welcome back. Thanks for your patience and support. As a result of President Trump's efforts, TikTok is back in the U.S. You can continue to create, share, and discover all the things you love on TikTok. I, again, cannot understate the problem for Democrats here. Again, I understand this isn't actually what happened. I understand that this was a game, okay? This was a con. But this is what people saw. People who don't really follow these things. They heard about the ban, maybe. but they didn't know much about it. They didn't look into it. They're not going to look into it, right? And if they do look into it, it's going to be on TikTok that they look into it, okay? They're going to see this shit. They're going to blame Democrats or the deep state or whatever, right? The U.S. Look how insidious this is, okay? Look how insidious this is. TikTok is putting the blame on the United States, and then pointing to Trump as their savior. So it's a good move politically. Like, it's a good move, but it's so insidious. Again, TikTokers already have a problem with propaganda, right? And seeing the U.S. as an enemy, right? Seeing the U.S. as a bad guy, seeing the U.S. as bad people. If you guys watched the people going to Xiaohongshu or the Little Red Book, Red Note, I think they're called, and a lot of them just guzzling the Chinese propaganda that they're getting, right? Like, just guzzling it down. Like, they've been in a desert for years, and they've never developed any antibodies to this propaganda. I don't know why, right? But they haven't. And so they just literally believe every single thing, right? Every single thing that they're given on this, okay? The Chinese are like, the CCP is like, oh, Americans have to pay for, they have to pay for ambulance rides? Oh, that's crazy. Oh, look at our police force and how nonviolent our police force is. Don't look at Tiananmen Square. You can't even look that up, right? And don't look at the what we did in Hong Kong. Don't worry about that. But look at this video, this TikTok video, this 10-second clip of some of our non-lethal police officers subduing someone. Isn't that special? Isn't that precious? And the Zoomers drank that shit up. So you have a class of people who are uniquely susceptible to propaganda in this regard, being told by their favorite crack dealers that the U.S. was the enemy and Trump saved them. Our only hope for this is that TikTok has destroyed their attention span so they won't remember this tomorrow. That is our only hope. That TikTok has destroyed their attention span so much that they just won't remember. And it's quite possible that that will be the case, thankfully. But it's crazy that we have to rely on that. Because again, if this is something that is remembered, it's not going to be good for us. And it does, again, showcase. Because remember, gang, who was it that pushed for this ban initially? Who was it that was pushing for TikTok to get banned in the first place? We know who it was. We have article after article after article after article, statement after statement after statement after statement after statement. Trump says he's banning TikTok in the U.S. We're banning them from the United States. Trump on TikTok. Trump says he intends to ban TikTok from the U.S. President Trump says he will ban TikTok from the U.S. Trump says he'll ban TikTok in the U.S. Donald Trump declares war on TikTok from Air Force One. Trump says he'll act to ban TikTok in the U.S. as soon as Saturday. Trump says he will ban TikTok. Trump threatens to ban TikTok. Again, this is something he pushed for years until he realized, oh, I can actually benefit from this. Fuck it. We're just changing our stance. Boom. Overnight. He flipped the script. A heel turn. A heel turn, gang. So all those problems that he said he cared about when it came to China influencing the youth, propaganda, etc., 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 as soon as Trump realized it was going to benefit him, he didn't give a shit. And he just went with it. Promise made, promise broken. Day one. Before day one, Damn. But, hey, Trump's the president now, or he will be tomorrow. You get what you get. You get what you get. Biden could have stopped it. How? Stop the ban or stop Trump? Which one? He could have vetoed the bill, I suppose. But everyone wanted this ban because, again, there are real security concerns. I'm against the ban, but there was bipartisanship consensus to get rid of this. I didn't agree with it, but it's the case. And then SCOTUS had a hearing on it. They ruled in favor of the ban. And here we are. Enniel says, hey. Y'all investing in Trump and Melania meme coins? Oh, don't get me started on that. Like, gang, please. If you're going to waste your money, waste it on me, baby. Okay? Don't buy any of these shit coins, okay? Invest into me with super chats, gifts, and bits. Okay? You will unironically get a better return on investment than investing in meme coins and all these Bitcoin bullshit, right? It will unironically be a better investment for you. I promise. You have my word. $20 from RPG says, attaboy, Wick. We don't take no shit from PA. No, we don't. And here's the thing, and I want everyone to remember this. If you are someone who thinks that they can come after me, who thinks I'm weak, that because I try to see all sides, because I try to be kind, I try to be human, I try to be genuine, that I am an easy target, you will learn that I am not. If you come after me, I will come after you. Simple. Easy. You take swipes, I'll take swipes back. And here's the thing. Here's the real kicker. I'm better at it than you are. I just am. I'm much more stubborn than you are. I have more free time, okay? I got nothing else going on, okay? I'll crash the fuck out. I don't care. What am I going to lose? I have nothing to lose. You can't cancel me. Right? You can't take away any of my toys, right? What are you going to do? Nothing. Nothing. So if you come after me, I'll come at you back. I'll match your energy, right? Now, I won't engage in certain things that you might, right? There are lines I won't cross that you might. But again, it won't go well for you. You will be made to feel a fool. And you might not care about that. Look, I am under no illusion that Mike from PA cares a whit what I think. That's fine. But what I will do is I will use the attacks that he put against me, and I will monetize it. I will benefit from it. I will grow stronger from it. I will get clout. I will get money. I will get fame. I will become more strong, more powerful. His attacks will do nothing. Because you know what Mike from PA is? He's not just a liar. We've demonstrated he is. We went through the court case saying he was a liar, that he intended to deceive the voters of Pennsylvania, my state that I'm living in right now, okay? Not my home state, but the state I'm living in for years, okay? We know the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania has said that he's a fucking liar, okay? We know that he engages in falsehoods, ad hominems, attacks on people's character. He makes up accusations. He's just an asshole, okay? We know all this. But you know what the thing that defines him most, the quality that is most defining for Mike from PA Do you know what that is? We can describe it in one word. Impotent. Impotent. He is unable to do anything. He tries, but he is impotent. He's unable to get what he wants done. He just can't. The most he could do, punch a few couches and not vote. That's really it. That's all the leverage he has is he can pout. He can throw a tantrum. But it does nothing. It does nothing. It's ineffective. It is, in a word, impotent. So yeah. What's he gonna do? Cry? Punch a couch? Run for office again and lose? Try to lie or get a nomination and get called out again? Try to get on Hassan's stream begging, please. Here, I want to read something for you. Let's find it. Oh my god, where is it? Let's find it. It's got to be here somewhere, gang. It's got to be here. Let me get, again, I should have gotten it up earlier. Get it up earlier. No, come on. Don't be weird. Boop, boop, boop. Let me pull it up. Man, why are people all people arguing in my mentions? I don't know. Is this it? Again, I'm looking for a specific graphic. Okay. A specific graphic that I've seen posted. And I'm looking for it. Because it's worth looking at. I should be more prepared for these things. But I am not. I apologize. But here, is this it? No. It's a chat log. This is what I'm looking for. It's a chat log of Mike from PA begging, pleading, screaming for Hassan to let him in, to let him on. Okay? And it's amazing. Does anyone have a link to it? You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm discussing? You know what I'm referencing here? You guys aware? Man, if you're not aware, I want to show you even more. I want to show you even more. Oh God, the cringe. Yes, oh God, the cringe, indeed. You will blind me, believe me? Okay, well, if I can find it, great. If I can't, I can't. It is what it is. But basically, all it was is this log of him being like, can I get on now? Hey, I got some information that you could use. Please let me on now. And this is like the screen. The screen is full of this text over and over and over again. Look, I get it. Sometimes we went on a show. Sometimes we shoot our shot and we get turned down. But you know what? Look, I'll give you an example. If I want to have Destiny on for something, I'll message him. I'll message him once. If he doesn't answer, I might message him a second time. But if he doesn't answer then, I just drop it, right? I just drop that subject because obviously he's not interested. Why push it, right? Let's save a little dignity, okay? I'll ask him for something later and he'll say yes, right? But that day he's probably got other things to do. He's busy. I get it. I understand, okay? Not this guy. Not Mike from PA. He doesn't take no for an answer. He doesn't take no for an answer. And boy, oh boy, he just goes. And it's crazy here. Let me see if it's under this. Boom, 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 boom. Aha! We found it, gang. We did it. This is from Central Committee. That's Mike from PA, guy, by the way. At Hassan. Am I getting another shot? At Hassan. How are you doing, man? At Hassan. I've got a bunch of PA data now if you're interested. At Hassan. I've got a bunch of PA data now that you're interested. At Hassan. I've got a bunch of PA data now that you're interested. At Hassan. I've got a bunch of PA data now that you're interested. At Hassan. I've got a bunch of PA data now if you're interested. At Hassan. I can do some analysis on the PA vote now that it is in. At Hassan. Are you ready to have me back? At Hassan. Ready to bring me on again, LOL. At Hassan. Yeah, it's 5.1% more towards Trump. That's very bad. At Hassan. Any ATA for me? At Hassan. Any ATA for when I get on? Question mark. At Hassan. Any ETA for when I get on? Question mark. At Hassan. Any ETA for when I get on? Question mark. At Hassan. Any ETA for when I get on? Question mark. At Hassan. This is exactly how I predicted, Lamau. At Hassan. Lamau. At Hassan. So when am I coming on? At Hassan. So when am I coming on? I think the 2022 model of this election has been pretty clearly refuted thus far. At Hassan. I think I'm pretty vindicated right now. A lot of people shit on me for my analysis. At Hassan. I think I'm pretty vindicated right now. A lot of people shit on me for my analysis. At Hassan. Harris is definitely an underdog. This movement isn't going to be concentrated in one state. At Hassan. Exactly what I called this last week. Looks like the polling averages were underestimating Trump. At Hassan. Exactly what I called last week. At Hassan. Hello, sir. At Hassan. Some link. Kind of exactly what I feared when I came on stream. At Hassan. Kind of exactly what I feared when I came on stream. And over and over and over and over again. Oh my God. If I ever did this, I would... The shame. The shame. This is shameful. Do you guys understand how shameful of behavior this is? How desperate. It stinks of desperation. Stinks of it. This is gross behavior. Look, Mike, if you're listening, buddy, learn to read the room. One, learn to take no for an answer without punching things. That will help you. You will be a better person for that. Figure out how to do that, whatever you need to do. Maybe some fucking therapy. I don't know, right? Maybe don't hit the bottle so hard. I don't know. I don't know what you got going on, okay? But change it. It's a problem, okay? Learn to take no for an answer, okay? Do you think this is how he acted towards Bad Bunny, guys? Do you think this is how he behaved? Was he like, Bad Bunny, please. Bad Bunny, please. Can I hit it now? Bad Bunny, please. Can I touch you? Bad Bunny, please. Please answer your phone. How many texts do you think he sent? Like, give a guess, okay? Give us a guess. What do you think the over-under on? And man, that phone, it probably got blown up. Like, I'm guessing at least 50 in a night. Can you imagine the texts he's sending her? Like, please, I'm sorry. Like, it probably vacillated from, like, apologies to rage, back to apologies again. Like, you know how that happens, right? Like, oh, what did I do wrong? I'm sorry. Did I come on too strong? Oh, you dumb bitch. How dare you, like, deny me? You'll never get someone as good as me. You hurt my feelings. You're so mean. Oh, I didn't mean to say that. I'm so sorry. Please have me back. Give me another chance. I was just mad. I just really care about you. Dozens. I would bet money on this. Dozens of texts. Just based on the behavior that he's doing with other streamers like this. That's just how he probably rolls, okay? That's just probably how he rolls. Because, again, that's how he's behaved, and we can see this when it comes to Hassan begging to get on stream. Intense Complex says, Wick is trying to pivot towards drama now that politics has dried up. What do you mean politics has dried up? We're about to get great politics. I'm doing this because someone took a shot at me, right? Publicly. So I'm going to make some money off of it and do a stream off it. Speaking of money, let's read some super chats. Let this be a lesson. If you come at me, you're just going to get me hundreds of dollars. That's all you're going to do. Grassroots Hegemon says, oh, was that the first one? Here, no. Oh, yeah. Grassroots Hegemon says, for $5, TikTok is a commie app and a psyop, but it was also a con. True. Grassroots Hegemon for $10. I was 4 minutes behind and spent $67 million on Boogie 29988's fatty coin, damn it. No, buddy, I'm sorry you lost your money. That sucks. $20 from Lawson Harrison. This is pathetic as my chat logs to Destiny. Lawson, we forgive you, Lawson. It's okay. But yeah, look, I get it. Big streamer, you won on, you can ask a couple times. I don't think that's out of place, right? And I'll tell this to people as well, right? Like if you DM me and I don't respond for whatever reason, I might have missed it. So do it again. And and this goes for all of you. If you've ever DM'd me and I didn't respond, or I said I was going to respond but I never did, it's very possible I just forgot or I just missed it. So please just do it again. But if I wake up and I have 50 messages from you, that's going to be a problem for me, okay? That's going to be an issue. Intense Complex says, you love Israel more than your own food. Why are we talking about Israel right now? Why are you bringing up Israel? I love Israel more than my own viewers. What about this discussion tonight has had anything to do with Israel? What are you doing, man? Come on. It's Palestine, baby. I guess so. Look, we're just going off about this. We don't have to talk about Israel Palestine right now, please. Right? I'm waiting to see how the ceasefire does. I don't know what's going to go on with that, right? But I'm waiting before I make a comment. But Jesus, not everything's about that. We're talking about the interpersonal drama right now. I rarely do it. I'm doing it because it was directed at me. So again, like I said, I'm setting a precedent. This is what I'm doing. I'm setting a precedent, okay? So that it doesn't happen as much because I don't like it. So if you do it, let it be known. Let's set a goal, okay? I'm going to set a goal and we can try to engage with this goal. I'll give it an hour, okay? Well, 45 minutes, okay? Let's set a goal. Let's set 5 super chats of at least $10 and higher, and that'll get me to where I want to be. Because I already got quite a few super chats, but yeah. So I will declare victory. Will be the victory is to start the goal. So we're gonna start it. Now we have the start goal here. Okay. This is why I'm doing this. Because I want people to know and understand. And if you're a streamer, you got to understand. If you come at me, and if you do this for no reason, again, no reason, just because you're a little hateful prick, okay? It's not only not going to hurt my feelings, it's not going to get me canceled. It's not going to get people to not view me or anything like that. All you're going to do is make me money. And if you actually do hate me, you don't want to make me money, do you? You don't really want to make me some dollars, do you? That's why we're doing this today. That's why I'm engaging in this today. Because I had some thoughts on it, and because I want to make it clear. What's the super chat so far? 144 bucks. Pretty good. And 35 cents. For not even 2 hours work yet. Hell. Come at me more. Please. Make me some more money. It's important to train people how you want them to act. Haywood Jablomi says, when you take a shot at the man-sized lawn gnome, you'd better not miss. Thank you for the $10. Appreciate you. Contributing to the victory fund, okay? We've already got, it's not even a minute in. And here's another one from Grassroots Hegemon, $5. Extremely proud to give Ewok So to give Ewok so much of my Mossad funds. Also, that guy who asked about Israel, check your pager. Well, thank you for the $5. Intense Complex, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about Mike from PA. I stopped talking about you a few minutes ago. Again, this is a general rule of thumb for how I'm going to handle anyone who comes at me. I'm going to make you into content, and I'm going to make money off of you. That's it. Myopic Time says, I was already not viewing you, so you can't change my mind. It's true. A lot of my people in my Discord. Yeah. Glitterbell says, you came for the wick and sparked the fuse. Is shit gonna blow up? I mean, it's drama, so I don't usually engage in drama, so it's not gonna get too many views, right? But people will tune in, I'm sure. They'll give me money like they have been. Let me non-meme for a minute. Let me take the memes down and let me be serious for a moment, if I may. Because yes, there's the training I'm doing for other streamers in the space, right? On how not to interact with me, because if you do, I'll make money. But there is something that I do want to discuss of a serious nature in regards to this, because it's something that is important and people forget. Let's talk about Lonerdox. Okay? I like Lonerdox. I respect Lonerdox. Is he my friend? I don't know, but I've worked with him before and I've met him before. I'm friendly towards him. Let's say that. Okay? I understand that some people may have some problems with some of his takes, may have some problems with how he's handled himself in some cases, and that's true of every streamer. Okay? I get it. We have to remember that people are human. Okay? And it does have an effect on us. Right? It does. I've never gotten near as much hate as Lonerdox has. I'm not nearly as big as him. I'm not nearly as well known. But the small amounts of hate I have gotten, it affects you. It sucks. It's not good. When I'm in those situations, when I see someone put their neck out for me, when I see someone step up to bat for me and say, hey, Wick's a decent man, that means a lot. I might not tell you in the moment, right? I might not, like, gush about it, but I'm telling you now. It means a lot to streamers, to content creators, to people who are under the microscope, right? To people who are getting constant hate. And sometimes very specific directed hate from very large communities, okay? It means a lot. Even if you think you're a nobody, right? Even if you're much smaller, for someone to just give a public sympathy or praise. It does. It helps. It helps a lot. That's one of the reasons I spoke up for Lonerdox. I saw him going through it. I didn't know exactly what was going on, but I wanted to support him a little bit, okay? Because I know if I was in that situation, if I was getting a lot of people coming at me, making shit up about me, which they have before, and they do still on occasion, right? It's funny how many people from Mike's community made teeth jokes, right? Saying, when are you going to get your teeth fixed? And things like that. And it was very obvious they hadn't watched my content in years or months and didn't know that it had been fixed. But it's also obvious that they were trying to pick something that they thought they would get at me, right? They thought they could latch on to, right? And so they were like, you snaggletooth, when are you going to get your key fixed? Why'd you steal the money of all your donors? Blah, 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 right? And they need to update their scripts, first of all. But, yeah, it's... when people publicly defend you, it's very helpful. Very good. And again, I wasn't there attacking anyone. You don't need to attack someone to defend them. All I said was, like, Lonerdox is a good dude, and he doesn't deserve the hate. Really all I said. I didn't come after any community. I didn't say Hassan's a hateful, evil, bigot, anti-Semite, and Mike PA is a little lying prick. Well, I'm saying he's a lying prick now, but that's after he came after me, right? But at the time, I didn't even mention any of the names. None of them. I hope it helped him. I do. Because, again, I like the guy. I want to see him stream again. I don't know why he's stopping streaming for a while. I don't know why he's stepping back. But I get why he would. Like, if you're getting a lot of hate, yeah, sometimes you just want to kind of take a break and step back and reconnoiter and touch some grass. And that's probably healthy for him. But I hope he comes back. I hope he eventually, whatever's going on, I hope he figures it out. And I hope he's able to stream again, right? You shouldn't let these people kind of get you down. But I get you. We're only human and it'll happen. So that's the serious kind of PSA I wanted to give you guys is if you see someone getting a lot of hate and you know the person or at least you've interacted with the person and you have a positive experience with the person, consider just a public word of praise. It really does help. You don't have to come after anyone or anything. But a public word of praise goes a long way. That's all I wanted to do. And then these little shitbags start coming at me for no fucking reason. Now I'm angry. Now I'm upset. Not an upset in a way that's going to bother me or is going to do any lasting harm, right? But it's annoying. Yes, a petulant little prick. 2025, A Gay Odyssey says, here's my public word of praise for you, Wick. Well, thank you. Appreciate you. Raw, I don't know why. I have no idea. I know that that's the rumor. And here's the problem with these rumors. They're from people who lie. They're from people who like Bad Empanada, who just lies and makes shit up. And they're from people like Mike from PA, who, again, is on record, Supreme Court of Pennsylvania, calling him a Weasley little liar. So, excuse me if I don't exactly take his word for it. Josh CFC, is Mike joining if he wants? I don't think he will. He's a coward. But he's free to hop back. If you guys want to tell him I'm streaming, he can just hop in anytime. Hop backstage. Let me give him the... Yeah, it would be great. Bad Empanada is still a thing? Unfortunately, yeah. So Bad Empanada made a video recently about Lonerdox, Destiny, and a few others. I don't know. Bad Empanada just lies like he breathes. Hard to take him seriously. J-Max says, most leftist content creators are, quote-unquote, are cowards. That's why they hide behind a keyboard. True. 10 pounds from RPG. An honorable man will always be a villain in the eyes of those without honor. Well, yeah, and I talked a little bit about this with someone earlier. One of the problems in this space is there are a lot of people who are failures. Like Mike from PA is a failure. And they are envious of other people's success. They're envious of other people who are doing well. And Lonerdox has had a lot of success. He's doing very well, right? He gets about 1,000 viewers per stream, concurrent. That's great. That's awesome. Okay. He's blowing up. They see the way that people conduct themselves that are honorable, if that's the word you want to use. Good people. People who don't leak DMs, who don't lie, who don't cheat, who treat others with respect. And they hate it because they see in you what they themselves lack. They see in you as like a dark reflection of who they are or who they could have been had they chosen a better path. And they hate it. And they will froth at the mouth with rage to destroy you because they want to prove to themselves like that is weakness. And it's not. It's not weakness. It's strength. So yes, they'll do everything in their power to destroy you, a good man. Glitterbell says they are literally embarrassed and threatened by Lonerbox. Yes, absolutely. Lonerbox is a leftist. He's far to the left of me, right? Me and Lonerbox disagree on some things, surprisingly. But I know that Lonerbox is a good dude, right? He's honest, he's genuine, and he tries to get to the truth of the matter as he sees it. And that's what's important. I would trust Lonerbox with my bank account numbers. I would. He'd have my checking account if I needed someone to hold it for me for some reason. If I had like a stack of cash, okay? Stack of cash, I'm like, man, I can't hold on to this, right? For whatever reason, I gotta go. I'll be back in a week. Here's $1,000. Hold on to it for me. Don't spend it. I wouldn't trust hardly any of you, right, little fuckers, okay? You'd take the cash and run. I'd never see you again, okay? A lot of streamers, they'd make up excuses, right? They try to lie saying I gave it to them. I wouldn't trust them as far as I could throw them, okay? Lonerbox is one of the people I would trust. There's a couple. Lonerbox is one of them. Brooklyn says, you could trust me? No, I can't. You're a little liar. You're... Oh. But yeah, that's one of those things. It's blood money, isn't it? Shh. Don't ask questions about the money. Okay. One of the things I see a lot in this space is people projecting. So what projection is when you accuse someone of something that you yourself are doing. You're projecting onto them who you are. You think to yourself, if I were in that situation, I would do this, so they must be doing this as well, right? So if they think of themselves like, if I was him, I would be lying and grifting right now to make money. So he must be doing that to make money. And so therefore, I'm going to tell him that that's what he's doing because I'm very sure that's what he's doing. It's projection, okay? This is what MikefromPA does when he says that we're all freaks and nobody loves us, right? Or everyone hates us. That's also what he's doing when he says that our community, DGG community, like, is constantly harassing and brigading and blah, 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 right? And misinformation and blah, 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 blah. Like, look, every community does that to a degree. Let's be clear, okay? No community is free of sin here. Just flat out. But I promise you, if I'm going to have a community come at me, I would much rather DGG community come at me because they will do so a lot less unhinged than Bad Empanada, MikefromPA, and them would do. A lot less unhinged. And I'll tell you why I know is because DGGers have come after me. They don't like it when I disagree with Destiny. They don't like certain things. Now, not all of them, right? But there's, like, I get a lot of hate in the DGG community. They don't like me. Is what it is. But the slight annoyance I get from them is nothing. Nothing compared to what happens when I make a comment about MikefromPA, or when I make a comment about Putin or others from the tanky communities. I've gotten rape threats. I've gotten death threats. People have mass reported me. It's pretty bad, actually. So yeah, I've never experienced that from the DGG community. At most, that they'll be a little annoying snots, okay, which is annoying. But yeah, no, I'm serious. I've gotten a ton of rape threats, specifically, especially when I talk about Ukraine. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Well, it's not just me that they're threatening to rape. It's like, we're going to find your mom. You're going to find your sisters and brothers. You're going to find your family, blah, 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 right? We're going to make you watch. Yeah, it's crazy. Again, they're not nice people. They're not good people. Let's be clear. Every accusation is a confession. They would behave like that, so they think that you will behave like that. Myopic Time says Lactoid is a way to defend against that. I don't want to know, buddy. Well, I don't know if Mike's going to show up, gang. It's too bad. Not that I made much of an effort, to be clear, because fuck that guy. But have we learned a lesson? Have we learned anything today? I hope you have. There is 2 things that I want you to take away from this experience, okay? 2 main things. 1, you come at me, I'm going to make you into content. I'm going to make money off of you, okay? You just take swipes for no reason, like Mike did. What's going to happen? And 2, support people publicly. It's not enough to get a private DM. Support them publicly. If they're going through it publicly, support them publicly. Do it. You spread the risk that way. People don't attack strong targets, right? They're less likely to. And if they see you have a lot of support, they'll still come at you, to be clear. But they're much less likely to be crazy about it. Or if they do be crazy about it, it'll be on their alts and stuff. And it's a lot different when you have no support versus when you have support. If it looks like you're a lone target and no one's going to stick up for you, they're like wolves, buddies. They'll tear you apart. But if it looks like you got a pack with you, if it looks like you got some people behind you, they're far less likely to have the whole world come at your face, right? Because these pylons, they have like a will of their own. And as soon as it becomes like successful, quote unquote, more people will pile in just to participate. And so if you don't want that to happen to someone, and if you see it happen to someone, stick up for them. That's my challenge and advocacy to you today, my dear viewers, my dear people, is if you see something going on and someone's getting a lot of hate, stick up for them. If you know them to be decent, stick up for them. Stick out your neck a little bit. It's okay. You might get some hate thrown your way. I say might. You probably will. But you should do it anyway. You should do it anyway. It's important. Anything else we should talk about? Gang, okay, so tomorrow, it's the inauguration day. So tomorrow I'm going to be streaming during the inauguration. I'll probably go live around 11 or 10. And if you want to sound off, if you have thoughts, if you want to come and talk about the inauguration, please jump in. We can talk. It'll be kind of like an open pop-in, pop-out stream. But I wanna watch it with you guys, gang. It's history. It's something that's happening whether we like it or not. And so I think it's useful to talk about. We can talk about what Trump is likely to do in the first 100 days, what he's likely to do in the first day, what he says he wants to do, and what he actually will do. And I think it's worth discussing and it's worth talking about. So please, right? It's going to be at a time that I normally don't stream. So I don't know how many of you are actually going to show up, but you know, it'll be fun. Later on in that day, maybe 95%, we're going to have a debate between Sansel and Tyler on what's driving people away, what's driving moderates away from the left and from Democrats. It's a little bit of a kerfuffle they had, and we're going to talk about it. Tuesday, I'll be debating Aircraft Sparky on freedom of speech and freedom of association, as well as demonetization. Is when Asmongold was de-verified, when his blue check mark was removed by Elon Musk, is that a form of censorship? Is that a free speech issue? I say it is. Aircraft Sparky disagrees. So we're going to talk about it on Tuesday. That should be fun. On Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be talking about, and let me get it up for you guys. This is another tweet I made that got a lot of likes. Okay. Let me find it for you. Oh, I should go to the replies because it was a reply to something. It got like 10,000 likes as a reply. Oh no, I have to scroll through all this shit. You know, I actually have a link to it that I can just look at. I don't have to play with this. I can just go to the link. It's very easy. Ba 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 ba. Because we're going to have some great people on. The Soy Pill's going to join us. We're going to be joined also by Lelena. Is that how you say her name? Wiggle Whips. She'll be joining us. She's the one that made the tweet. It blew up. We're going to be joined by Cham. And we're also going to be joined by Portland is Burning. And this is what we're going to talk about. Approaching women. Here's a tweet. My friend was the only girl at a hackathon, and someone gave her this note. Hey, I think you're really cute, and I love those 2 braids in the back of your hair. Let me take you out sometime. I'd love a lesson from you on how to hack. LOL. Text me, and there's a number. Covered it up. So Wiggle Whip says, making fun of someone for politely expressing romantic interest is so evil, man. And she's correct. I replied this. Having to worry not only about the embarrassment of immediate rejection, but being put on blast to all of everyone everywhere. If a guy approached a woman in a cringe way is a cursed world, man. Those poor boys ain't got a chance in hell. So we're going to talk about approaching women, when it's okay to do it, how it's okay to do it, when it's not okay, how it's not okay. We're also going to be talking about age gaps in relationships. We're going to talk about where you should could you approach a woman at a gym? Is that okay? Some disagreement there. And it should be fun. Should be a good discussion. Tune in. And Thursday, we might have a debate on representation in gaming. We're going to have Lost Lore Scholar. We're going to have a few others. That's a 50-50. I'm still waiting on a couple people there. But hopefully we can get that together. Okay, cool. That's what we got going on. Anything else? Anything else you guys want to talk about? If not, who's streaming right now? Mooncake. Let's right into Mooncake. Say hi to Mooncake. Let her know that this is a hate raid. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. What I think of Lex Friedman's Zelensky interview, if you check out my YouTube, I had a discussion with Ukrainian Anna, Dylan Burns, and a couple others. So check that out. It's on my YouTube. Yeah, see you guys later.